Hey guys, what's going on? Thank you so much for watching today and welcome to Prehistoric Kingdom's Dev Diary for March of 2022. I have been waiting for this all month and I'm very excited that it's finally here. It's a big one, so let's go ahead and jump in. Welcome to the March update. In this month's post, we'll be sharing some new features that will be introduced before early access launch and briefly discussing some technical challenges we've had to overcome before the next update is released. Jumping into state of development, due to unfortunately timed technical issues over the last few weeks, we had to delay the long-awaited poop update. Most of the content for the patch is now finished and currently being tested. We've merged the next two main updates together, but some final implementations will still need to be completed before the patch and the new features are ready to go live. Closed beta players can expect this update shortly before early access is released in April. And we'll get to it at the very end, but they do say that early access is coming in late April, so I expect this next update, beta 0.4, to come in the next couple weeks or so. And this is a good time to address it. This is a closed beta, the game I've been playing and covering. You cannot get your hands on it just yet, but the early access release will be available for all of you guys that want to pick this up and get your hands on it. So you've only got like 4 more weeks or so to wait. But let's jump into the beta update itself, and we are starting off strong with some new animals. So coming to closed beta is the Brachiosaurus. This colossal creature will certainly draw plenty of guests to your park to witness its towering scale. Super excited about this one. The Brachiosaurus is such a staple dinosaur, I feel like. It's kind of like the elephant of zoos. It's an awesome dinosaur, and I'm very excited to see it, and I think it looks amazing. I love this striping pattern all the way up the neck here, and I think the actual model itself looks great. You can see it kind of staring at us through the trees right there. But that's not all. Big thumbs up for the Iguanodon. Even with its unconventional looks, we think this classic duck-billed herbivore will become a fan favorite in every park. Honestly, the Iguanodon is one of my favorite dinosaurs. It's one that, to be honest, it's one that I'm familiar with, so I can recognize it right away. But I'm really excited to see it come in game. And so we have what looks like 2 different variants here, and they did a really good job at adding all the detail in there on this dinosaur. I love the little spines, little scales on the back that run all the way down. Really cool. Really, really cool. I am so excited to see both the Iguanodon and the Brachiosaurus, and thank you so much to Prehistoric Kingdom for picking 2 dinosaurs that I'm familiar with and can pronounce right off the bat. So thank you. That made this video a little bit easier. A number of new additive animations have also been included for all animals in beta. These play while wandering around and add a bit more life to these creatures. I love to hear that. Ambient animations really make or break these animals, in my opinion, while they're walking around in your zoo. So I'm really excited to hear that they've added new animations even to the current existing animals that we already have in beta. Moving on to talk about some animal welfare and the all-important poop. In point 4, the first wave of animal welfare will make its way into your parks. Players will need to tend to the unique habitat requirements of each species and ensure they have access to food sources. With food, there must also come poop, a detractor in habitat cleanliness and score. You can read more about poop mechanics in our previous blog post. So if you want to know more information, you can either go back and look at the February Dev Diary video on the channel that I covered, or you can go ahead and click on this little link and it'll take you, I'm assuming it takes you back to the previous update where they really dive in and talk about it. So in this screenshot, we get a little peek again at the UI for the animal welfare. It looks like we've clicked on this T-Rex Chunky here, and you can see that he's resting. It is a he. You can see habitat requirements, the exhibit, so crowding, minimum size, temperature, cleanliness. We go down to nature, so what the plants and foliage are that he needs, and the housing requirements. So I love that this is coming to the game. This makes it a little bit more of a game, so that you have, you know, goals and things you want to meet versus just going in and building. So it's really, really starting to come to life. So I'm very excited about that. Failing to care for welfare will lower a paddock's exhibit score and the park rating, making it harder to make money and science points. In the future, poor animal welfare will lead to illness and eventually death. So just expanding on those welfare mechanics. Science points and exhibit score. By clicking on a habitat's perimeter fence, players can view its exhibit score and habitat statistics. It's here that you'll find information on how well designed a paddock is, how large it is, and more. At the beginning of each month, players will be rewarded with the total worth of exhibit score in the park via science points. This resource can be spent unlocking animals or skins in the excavation menus. Temperate map and additional foliage. Bring prehistory back to the United Kingdom with the all-new Temperate map. 9 new foliage variants have also been included to expand the visual diversity of our Temperate lineup. You know I love to hear it. Obviously, I love building pretty things and creating attractive habitats, and so the idea of new foliage is music to my ears, and I love the Temperate aesthetic. It's one of my favorite biomes to build in, so very excited to see that. Looks like we got this screenshot here of some of the Temperate foliage, but also some little markers over the things that might need some attention. So it looks like this building doesn't have a path connected. Something over here doesn't have power. This dinosaur looks like it might need water. This building over here looks like it might need power. So really cool that they're going to give you some indications that pop up as you're trying to take care of your park so that you can very quickly get an overview of any issues that are coming up. Moving on to Sandbox mode, beginning in beta 0.4, players will be able to start a challenge or sandbox game from the updated new game menu. Customizable settings available in the patch include starting cash, includes infinite toggle, starting science points, which also includes an infinite toggle, infinite power, animal welfare, and unlock all animals. More options will be added to Sandbox as new mechanics are introduced. All previous saves will be converted to Sandbox mode upon the arrival of beta 0.4 for compatibility reasons. Fantastic. I am very excited to get a true sandbox mode. As you guys know, if you followed the channel, and as I mentioned before, we like creating pretty things, and when we create pretty things, we don't like to worry about the in-game mechanics, so having an actual sandbox mode is going to be fantastic and allow us to make some really creative habitats. Moving on to what I think is our last section here, talking about upcoming developments, the tropical map. Set in the sunny paradise of Costa Rica, the upcoming tropical map provides stunning scenery and deep, humid forests perfect for your prehistoric menagerie. This locale will be available at the launch of early access. Take a look at that. Oh, I love it. Oh, and more animals! The Psittacosaurus. So we mentioned the Psittacosaurus in the last dev diary, but it looks like we've got some more updates. Oh my goodness, look at this face. It's such a funny looking dinosaur. Like we teased last month, Psittacosaurus will be coming to early access with 3 distinct species, each donning various facial horns and spikes. Today, we are revealing the biggest species, Psittacosaurus? Psittacosaurus? I think is how you say that. So this is going to be the biggest species, but this is not a big dinosaur at all. But look at these facial horns. Again, this is a dinosaur that I was completely unfamiliar with until they teased it last month, and I think I remember saying, like, it has a face only a mother can love. I stand by that. That is still how I feel looking at this dinosaur right now. But I am always here for new species. Of course, it will be a missed opportunity to not give you all another look at the smallest parrot lizard, Psittacosaurus. The team hopes you're just as excited as we are to watch these little gremlins wander their habitat. So yes, this is what we got last month, this little guy here, and they definitely do look like little gremlins. Moving on to the last little bit of information here, a tutorial. So you asked for help and we listened. An introductory tutorial will be included with the early access launch and narrated by the legend himself, Nigel Marvin. This tutorial will be a masterclass in Prehistoric Kingdom basics from animal welfare to turning a profit. You'll be an expert park manager in no time. Speaking of Nigel, at launch, he'll also be providing players with an assortment of facts, over 90 lines, for all your newly bred species. Occasionally, he may even pop up when revisiting old species to provide more information. Before we get into that, this is a fantastic idea. The idea that the devs, and it's going to be an in-game tutorial for anybody getting started for the basics, is an absolutely phenomenal idea. So I'm very excited to see what that actually looks like. And very excited to see, too, that they are adding pop-ups of information when you're looking at your dinosaurs, and you'll get to learn a little bit about them. So below, you can hear an early preview of meeting our lovely Parasaurophilis for the first time, featuring one of 3 facts. There's a bunch of audio processing and effects yet to be done, but we thought we'd showcase a little bit of the dialogue before the game's release next month. So let's go ahead. I'm going to let this play and you guys can hear what it sounds like, a little bit of a sneak peek at the facts that you'll be hearing in game.
Now that, my friend, is a beautiful dinosaur. Almost like a musical instrument, Parasaurolophus used their crest for long-distance communication. The crests are made out of bone riddled with hollow tubes, which help amplify that beautiful singing voice of theirs. You're listening to the first orchestra on Earth.
I just love Nigel's voice. It's so amazing. I love that. In time, we'll be expanding the dialogue to include alerts and pointing out potential problems with the park. The team's very interested in creating additional characters for Prehistoric Kingdom and developing playable scenarios beyond the initial tutorial. So we hope you enjoy our first taste at what that could be. And then last, but certainly not least, we have new trailer news. And it's not a lot of news, but it's news. Finally, we're very excited to share that the release date for early access will be announced in a new trailer coming out next month. We want to thank everyone for their patience and assure you all that early access is still scheduled to be released in late April 2022. So keep an eye out on our socials for the new trailer premiere. So we should be seeing, hopefully very soon, this actual update to the beta coming out in the next couple weeks, and then early access is finally arriving on the at the end of April. So if you are interested at all in this game, you don't have too much longer to wait. Let me know what you are most excited for. I am most excited by this update because of the new animal additions, the Brachiosaurus and the Iguanodon, as well as the Psittacosaurus. Very, very excited to get my hands on them and start building for them. I do hope to continue to see more building pieces as well. Although everything is scalable, recolorable, all that kind of stuff, it does have a lot of freedom. I still would love to see more and more building pieces added to the game as well. Again, if you enjoyed the video, do leave a like down below. Hit that subscribe button if you're interested in keeping up with all Prehistoric Kingdom's future news and coverage of the game when it actually does come out to the public. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!